Alex Caruso, Aaron Gordon, everyone else on OKC, and Steven Adams. What do those guys have in common? Those are the top 8 players in the NBA for net rating. An all-star level player, the OKC Thunder's starting top 6 players, and then Steven Adams. And what if I told you we've seen this happen almost every single year of Steven Adams' career? Because in a league full of 7-footers who can shoot, dribble, and make plays that 7-footers shouldn't make, let's just say Steven Adams is a throwback big. And despite only averaging 6 points a game, he does something better than almost anyone else in NBA history.
I'm a big bastard, mate. You assume so, eh? Don't expect one of these little dudes to control the boards, eh?
Yes, that is exactly right. Because yet again, Steven Adams is having an all-time great rebounding season. And yet again, the Rockets are thriving in his minutes as a result. Because for the second season in a row, it is not Alperen Şengün or Kevin Durant or Amen Thompson that has the best net rating on the Houston Rockets. It is Steven Adams. And this is not a matter of sample size or luck. This is just what Steven Adams has done every year of his career. Oklahoma, Memphis, New Orleans, Houston, it doesn't matter where it's been, every single place Steven Adams has played, he has made an impact that goes so far beyond the box score. And we might as well talk about how he makes that impact. Because if you want to go beyond the box score, well, you have to do things that go beyond the box score. And obviously rebounding is counted, but it doesn't show the value he has as a rebounder. We don't see the value he has as a screen setter, or his ability with his size to clear defenders out of the paint and make way for his offensive players on a consistent basis. And in particular, it is the rebounding that will always stand out for Steven Adams. Look here at poor Maxim Reynaud in his first season, getting ready to grab the rebound on this KD pull-up, and Steve-O just shoves him with 30% of his strength and throws him completely off balance for the putback. And you might be thinking, that's just a rookie. Let's see him do it against someone his own size. Maybe someone like Jonas Valanciunas, perhaps? Sure, as he just shoves Valanciunas out of the way, grabbing the board and setting up KD for a wide open 3. Or how about this time where KD goes for the fadeaway, and with Adams surrounded by twin towers, he just discards Jarrett Allen before tipping it back to himself, getting the board and getting tied up. So basically, when KD isn't hitting 70% of his mid-range shots, or Reid isn't hitting 50% of his threes, you have to worry about Steven Adams standing there and just moving your players out of the way for easy buckets. It's not a coincidence the Houston Rockets have the best rebounding percentage in the league. It's not a coincidence they had the best rebounding percentage in the league last year as well. And when you look at Steven Adams' career, this might be one of the most ridiculous stats I have ever seen. Courtesy of Steven Adams Stats on Twitter, of the last 9 seasons, which will now be 10, 8 of those seasons, a Steven Adams-led team has led the league in offensive rebounding. Not top 3 or top 5, number 1 every single one of those seasons. Do you know how good you have to be that you can go from team to team to team, and every single time you go to one of those teams, they become the best offensive rebounding team in the league? And you see once he leaves, like in New Orleans or Memphis, those teams don't replicate those levels. This is the impact of Steven Adams. And what makes this team so impossible to defend is not only do you have one of the greatest rebounders ever, but you have to deal with Alperen Şengün as well. Like here where they're up against the double bigs in Cleveland, and watch Şengün fight for that rebound, tipping it to space, and who's there to clean it up and get fouled. And it's not just Şengün, Tari Eason, Jabari Smith Jr., Amen Thompson, Kevin Durant. This is a team with rebounding all across the board. And one of the things that obviously makes Steve-O such a great rebounder is he is simply just stronger than everyone else in the league.
That motherfucker is strong. Like, I'm serious. He hit me with one screen today, and I thought my life was over. Like, seriously. He's like from Krypton or something, seriously.
And what makes this clip so hilarious is this is Jimmy Butler, You guys know what Jimmy Butler looks like. For every one of us watching, we would think the exact same if we got hit by a 6'6", 230-pound Jimmy Butler, and he's talking about Steven Adams like he's not human. That should give you an idea as to how strong this man is. And you see that when he goes up against other 7-footers. No one else in the league can just casually throw around guys like Jared Allen or even Jonas Valanciunas at times. But Adams just has a different level of strength, which every player has said. But beyond just the physical traits that always gets talked about when it comes to Steve-O, I don't think he gets nearly enough credit for his basketball ability. Look, I'm not about to tell you Steven Adams is Alperen Şengün or Nikola Jokic 2.0, but one thing he does really well that flies under the radar is pass. It has always been something that's been a part of his game, and ever since OKC, he has been someone that can find cutters and find shooters when they're open. Just like here, where he gets the ball inside the three-point line and immediately recognizes Tari cutting backdoor and puts it on a plate for him. Or this time with KD, Harden assumes he's coming for the handoff, so KD cuts backdoor and Steve-O is able to put it on the money for him. Even occasionally you'll get plays like this out of the pick and roll, where KD draws 2 defenders, Steve-O gets it in the short roll and finds Eason with that wraparound pass. And what he does really well as a passer is he understands his gravity as a screener. So he knows KD is either coming around for the handoff, or if the defense overcommits, he'll cut backdoor, and that's where Adams can drop those dimes. And this kind of just sums up Steven Adams as a player. He might not have the flashiest skills, and obviously it's the rebounding that makes him great, but you don't become this impactful purely off rebounding, even at this level. He's great at so many other little things as well. And one of those things is defense. He might not be the quickest or the most elite shot blocker, but those physical traits he uses on the defensive glass, or he uses to contest shots or play defense in the post against other bigs, all of that contributes to a team that has been great defensively with him on the floor. And another one of those little things that definitely gets overlooked is what he does off the ball. It's obvious to say, yeah, he's a great screener, but what about what Steven Adams does when he's not involved in the action? Just look at him here with KD having the ball out top. He gets the switch he likes, and I want you to watch Steve-O on this play. He does not have to be involved in the action to create a wide open layup, as he simply just manhandles DeMar DeRozan out of the way and gives KD a free rein to the rim. And he does this every single game, multiple times a game, moving players out of the way to clear a path for his teammates to get to the rim. So much of what Steven Adams does will not show up in the box score, but it will show up in the net rating, and it will show up in the wins column, which is why year after year, Steven Adams-led teams are some of the best in the NBA when he's on the floor. And that's an impact that can't go unnoticed.